this morning about mental illness and recovery. Living with mental illness is both a challenge and a gift. I am 62 years young. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology. I own my own home, have great friends, and a fulfilling professional career that I love. I have type 2 diabetes, bipolar disorder type 1. Like diabetes or cancer, bipolar disorders are chronic medical conditions. I know what it feels like to be depressed to the point of not being able to get out of bed, get dressed, or function for months on end. I also know the polar opposite of that lowest low, which is the highest high. It is agitated, impulsive, creative, and can even be much fun. And for me, that looked like sleepless nights, high energy, risky behavior, and lots of shopping on QVC. The type of bipolar disorder I have is characterized by depressions and at least one full-blown mania, which lasts at least 2 weeks. Mania is the high side of bipolar, characterized by the lack of sleep, inability to eat, extreme high energy, and can lead to paranoid delusions. To manage my symptoms and maintain my wellness, I take my medication as prescribed, see my psychiatrist at least once every 3 months, and I see my psychologist every other week, which is my choice. I also live by my Wellness and Recovery Action Plan, or WRAP if you know that. I live by these supports, which are vital for me to maintain my health. When you first get diagnosed with diabetes, people often feel uncomfortable sharing this with others. Or they feel comfortable, sharing this with others, family, friends, colleagues, at work, and even strangers. Sharing this information with others includes many forms of support and comfort. People often tell you their own experience or that of a loved one. They provide information about local community resources and, most importantly, validation. You know, coming away from that conversation, you are not alone, nor do you have to feel ashamed. You don't have to worry about people judging you, talking behind your back, or thinking you might not be confident enough to hold down a job or live on your own. Unlike diabetes, though, individuals living with mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, PTSD, or schizophrenia feel very uncomfortable sharing this disorder with anyone. So getting any support is much more difficult. Sharing thoughts of suicide, helplessness, overwhelming worry or fear does not always generate the same concern and support as these other medical conditions. Talking about it may make others feel uncomfortable or fearful, creating much stigma. Mental illness does not discriminate, so why do we? I grew up in a loving middle-class family. My father was a computer specialist with the government. My mother was a special education elementary teacher. I excelled in school, graduating in the top 2% of students in the country, and enlisted in Who's Who among high school students in 1972. Despite the fact I missed about 60 days my senior year, going to downtown clubs to dance, listen to music, and drink beer. This was possibly the beginning of my illness, but something that wasn't talked about at that time. My 20s were a turbulent mess. I got married, moved frequently, changed jobs just as often, lived for a time in a school bus, peddling mirrors on the street corner just to make ends meet. Following years of this lifestyle and emotional and physical abuse by my husband, I chose to turn the page and live out of my Volkswagen on the beach, homeless versus staying married. My luck turned around when I went back to college, secured a successful real estate career, and started working around the clock. However, the stress was too much for me. At age 30, after several weeks of sleeplessness, rapid weight loss, and paranoia, I was hospitalized. My paranoia took many forms. I thought people, and no offense, in suits were bad, and people that were homeless were my only friends. I also thought that I had swallowed something that was allowing the FBI to track me, and that people were out to kill me and my family. I was on the inpatient psychiatric unit for 30 long days, and a padded room on the unit for the first week. The experience was terrifying, frightening, and the beginning of my understanding of what was then called manic depression. My parents thought they had lost me forever. That was 32 years ago, and I've not been hospitalized since. That doesn't mean I don't live with challenges. I do. Maintaining my health takes effort. I'm vigilant about adhering to my wellness plan, monitoring potential triggers, and recognizing with the support of my friends and family when my mood seems to be too extreme. Recognizing and accepting my mental illness was a process that took time to repair my crushed ego and low self-esteem, which I still work on to this day. Bipolar disorder, like diabetes and other physical health illnesses, are chronic conditions. I will always need medication to control my mood swings. I have to deal with weight gain and diabetes, both which are side effects of me taking my medication for 32 years. Living with mental illness is both a challenge and a gift. Without it, I would not be who I am today, nor would I be able to do the work I do in helping others with their mental illness and recovery. In closing, I would like you to know that mental illness is treatable, support systems are necessary, and wellness and recovery possible, as I am living proof of that. Thank you.